Right, young Nicholas, how are you?
All good, Rich, you?
Yeah, not bad. Now then, a new year.
Yeah.
Let's look back on last year. I looked this morning, 3 12-rounders.
Yeah.
That's new territory, wasn't it?
Yeah, not half. What I was ready for as well, and what I've shown I was ready for, but I had some good opportunities last year, and it was a massive year for me, yeah. Like a breakout year, wasn't it?
How was the difference in approach? Because whereas before you'd been doing your 4s and 6s and Grand Central and all that sort of thing, this time you were preparing for proper championship fights. Did you notice a difference, and was it tougher?
Not really, just the same, you know. Like I train for each fight like it's a world title fight, and that's how you've got to approach it. Because if you've been taking it easy and not been giving your all, and then you do get a chance, then it's too late to start training properly. Do you get me? You should be training properly from the start. It's all or nothing. So I train like that for everything.
You might not agree with me, but probably the most valuable fight you had last year was the one where it went into the 12th round, wasn't it? The African fella, I mean, was it Kokolalo or everything?
Yeah.
You took him out in the end, but you got 12 rounds and you were pretty persistent.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that, yeah. Because everyone was saying about me being able to do the 12 rounds and things like that, and at that pace and stuff like that. So it's good to show that I can do the 12 rounds, and it's also a confidence booster for myself, and I got the stoppage at the end as well, so it's a win-win.
Is it a psychological barrier, or were you just thinking everyone else shut up? You know?
I always knew I can do them. I've done them in the gym, things like that, but it's obviously different in a fight. You want to do them in a fight just so you know, but when you've done it, you know, do you get me? So it's good.
Also against a fellow who was about 2 foot taller than you, wasn't he? Sort of.
Awkward, yeah. He was tough as well, to be fair to him. He was tough, him.
I mean, you must do it a lot, but is punching up more tiring?
It can be, yeah, but I'm used to it. I'm used to it now. I've done that my whole life, haven't I? But punching down as well is also.
Punching down ain't great, is it?
No, it's not good as well. And I think punching down is going to be harder for them to pin me down and harder to hit. So it's just as tiring.
Just again thinking back to last year, how do you look back on the Wembley thing now? Well, there's got to be something.
Yeah, that was a special night that for me and the gym and Paul and Ant. It was a special night for me. That like.
Do you think about it a bit?
Not really. Don't try and like proper think about it, because.
Not so much the fight, but you know, the arch and everything else. You know.
Yeah. Well, I've never been to Wembley before, and the first time I went.
You're blue, aren't you?
Yeah. Nah, I'm a red. But yeah. But the first time I went was when I fought there, so it was good, yeah. And to say that I've boxed in Wembley, not many people can say that, and I can, so I'm made up with it.
And it wasn't like the place was empty when you came out, was it?
No.
I mean, you didn't come on till what, 8, 9 o'clock, was it?
Yeah, and then after the fight, it went dark then, so it was even better, because when I got there, obviously it was light and not that many people there, and then after it, with the performance, sat down, it was dark, and then everyone was there then, and I looked round and seen where they just boxed.
Some famous people have trod those steps, haven't they?
Yeah, not half. Yeah.
But then you had the African, and your last fight was supposed to be a tough one, but you made it ridiculously easy, didn't you? Well, not easy to the onlooker.
Yeah. There was a lot of obviously practice that went into the few shots that there was. We were doing it literally in the changing rooms on the pads with Paul beforehand.
You were practicing that particular shot.
That's all that we threw. We didn't even throw any right hands on the pads, just a few, and then we were just working on the left hook, and they were the shots that landed and took them out.
Do things feel different now in terms of your professional career, but you feel like you're really getting somewhere? I mean, every fight is meaningful now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know they all are, but every fight's got such a lot on it. If you lose, you've got to take a few steps back, haven't you? So.
Yeah, it's starting to feel nice, because all the work that I've put in over the years, it's paying off now, and I'm getting the chances that I deserve and opportunities, and people are like showing me a lot of attention and things like that, and I'm just building and making a name for myself. So keep going, keep doing what I'm doing.
I mean, even if you think about opponents, in the early days it's a case of get him an opponent that will hopefully give him rounds or give him some problems. Now there's a lot of thought got to go into it, and also a lot of money that's got to go into it, because you've got to pay for good opponents, haven't you? So there's a whole different sort of process around it, isn't there?
Yeah, that's it. But I'm just focusing on what I've got to do with the training, the fighting, and let all the other people focus on that. And I'm just turning up every day in the gym with Paul, and learning every day, yeah, and it pays off on fight night, doesn't it?
You jibbed off the British title. So what, in an ideal world, I mean, I know you probably want to end with the world title.
Yeah.
But where do you see this year sort of taking you?
I think this year I'll be fighting for the world title. Obviously, if the opportunity comes up, no one knows if it's going to come up. But
he's opening up now,
you don't know nothing with boxing, but I'm certainly doing the right things to put myself in the position for one. So just keep doing what I'm doing, and if I get the opportunity, I will be world champion this year.
You've always quite fancied the Conlon fight, haven't you?
Yeah, any of them really. I don't really mention no names, but anyone who's got the belts and is in my weight, all of them, line them all up in it.
But what is it that appeals to you about that particular one? Is it because of the local domestic interest, if you like, Belfast, Liverpool? You know, he's got a following, you've got a following, it'd just be a good occasion?
It'd be a massive one, wouldn't it?
Is it the styles that appeal to you?
I'm not really too fussed, just he's quality and he's a good fighter, I rate him. And at the same time, what you said, loads of support will be there for me, loads of support will be there for him, and then it'd make out to be a good fight.
There is
a big fight.
There is a bit of a shakedown in the division, isn't there? Because you've got Lee Wood fighting that Lara, you've got Conlon supposed to be fighting Lopez. I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
Josh Warrington seems to be waiting for the winner of something. Who do you see coming out on top out of that little group?
Coming out top?
Yeah.
Out of the two fights?
Yeah, say out of, Conlon, Lara, Wood, Warrington. Who do you see emerging at the end?
I don't really know, Rich. I'm not really too bothered either. I'm focused on myself, and I'm not too bothered wherever they end up or who wins them fights. I just know I'll fight the winner and things like that. Fight any of them. I just
watch boxing, mate. It's on telly on that Saturday night. So.
Not much, not as much as you'd think. But the fight
you don't sort of think, oh, there's boxing on tonight. Tune in. Or you're always out Saturday nights.
Nah, I'm not out, but
Because you don't watch football, because you don't really like football.
No, I don't really watch it. But obviously, if there's a good fight on, I'll watch it with my mates or something like that. But I'm not too fussed about proper sitting down and watching the boxing as well. Do you get me?
You don't sit there for like 4 hours, sort of.
No, I'm just falling asleep in it with half of these fighters nowadays.
I must admit, I did fall asleep on Saturday actually, just before the main fight, because I've been watching it for at least 3 hours, and it does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, not half. Drags on, doesn't it?
Sleepiness catches on, doesn't it?
Drags on.
I just want to ask you about the process, the daily process here. I mean, I've been with you this morning, and you've watched in quite a lot of detail a fight from 1969. I believe these sort of history lessons are quite a big part of your sort of day-to-day existence here at the gym, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a massive part, I think. Because we come in at 10, as you've seen, and we watch them till 11, and then we get on with the training then. But that's like an everyday thing for us. Paul has us sitting down doing that, and we can just take little bits of each fighters and things like that.
He like stops it and goes, Nick, this is Joe, this is you, sort of.
So each bit of he'll like pick out each bit for certain fighters in our gym, what we do similar, and then go off that then and work around it.
Do you quite enjoy that sort of technical breakdown? Sort of?
Yeah, definitely, because you're getting taught, aren't you? You're not just turning up training and getting fit. It's a process to it, what people don't see. You've seen it this morning, and people who come in, but you're actually coming in and getting taught, and you're learning every day. I know it's easy to say that you're learning every day, but I feel like I am learning every day in this gym, and I couldn't have walked into a better gym. And you only have to look back at the start of my career to see how far I've come and where I'm going to keep going. So.
Do you particularly like those old fights? Sort of,
yeah, they're proper fights, aren't they? Yeah, black and white.
Because there's so many differences in terms of the refereeing, how quickly you might stop a fight. You mentioned the gum shields earlier on, that sort of thing, when they came out.
Yeah.
You know, whether the corners will pull you out. There's all sorts of different things that, probably all health and safety wise, but differences between 69, it's 53 years ago and now. Do you detect a lot of that when you're watching these old films?
Yeah, they are good to watch, because even they were doing 15 rounds and things like that, 6-ounce gloves. So we're doing 12 rounds with 8-ounce gloves. If you look at it like that, we've got it easy, haven't we?
But do you think the old ones have probably got the edge on you lot?
The which?
Do you think the old ones have got the edge on you lot?
The older people?
Yeah.
In what?
The boxers back in the day.
Got the edge?
Yeah.
don't really know. That's then and this is now, innit? So who knows?
One thing I did notice strongly now was all of you, to a lad, were all paying attention, really concentrating on that. Normally, if there's sort of an education part of any day's work, you can drift off a bit, can't you? You know, if there's like a theory part, you know, you're out with the driving, you don't want to do the theory, do you? But you were all tuned in. Are there ever days where you're sort of like, oh God?
Some days you're tired, some days you're not. That's just everything, and it's normal. But you've got to listen when you come in this gym, because it's not no normal day, is it? It's your life's on the line, and if you don't listen, you could lose your life or anything like that. You know what happens with this boxing, so you've got to be switched on at all times and focus.
You've had a nice nosebleed today, haven't you?
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, blood.
What's next, Nick? What have you heard?
May, I think. May. I've just heard May.
That's okay.
Be fighting in May, so
plenty of time to. Because with you, it's all big fights now. Isn't it? It isn't just getting ready for a tick over. It is a proper meaningful
important fight. Yeah.
You know, they don't get made overnight, do they? I suppose there's a bit of shuffle the pack and wait for things to unfold and unravel.
That's it, innit? So just waiting on like a proper date and venue and things like that, and where it is and opponent, and then go from there. Then, but just other than that, just training every day, innit? Towards the next one.
Talking of good fights, what do you reckon to Andrew against Baluta?
Everyone's saying it's doing me head in a bit, to be honest. Everyone's saying it's going to be a war. This.
Not really. Andrew doesn't have to be like that, does he? So
no, exactly. You just took the way.
The other fellow will.
And Andrew can do both, but no one's seen it. Do you get me? No one's brought it out.
We did see it in one fight a few fights ago, didn't we?
Yeah, the Mexican took his time. Yeah, that was when he was sick, and he had to take his time because he got COVID.
But he actually got more praise and compliments for that fight. Than the ones where he's sort of been blasting.
Well, you've just seen yourself then sparring at me, like what he's like. So
he beat you up,
yeah. So the people have only seen a pinch of salt. Do you get me with him? He can do it all, and he'll show that if he has to. In my opinion, I don't think.
But that Baluta, he's a bit of a loon, isn't he? So if he comes out sort of, you know, larking around, sort of throwing big haymakers.
His worst mistake being a loon against Andrew.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm thinking, especially if he does it beforehand in the press conference.
Exactly.
But if he does that, will Andrew not just get lured into a bit of a war?
No, he's not like stupid like that. You get me? He's switched on. He knows when to go. He knows when to come off. He's sensible. He's a true professional. So if the opportunity's open, he'll take it and take him out. Do you get me? And
between you had 3 first-round stoppages in your last 3 fights now, haven't you? So 2 for him, 1 for you.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to sort of see a bit more of him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but we'll see.
We'll see. Unfulfilled after your last one. After you think, oh, I've just trained in 10 weeks. And
do you know what? I said the exact same thing, and Andrew thought the same as well. But you do all this, like you say in the gym, oh, I want to knock out your first round, boom, and then you get it, and then you're like, you want to fight now. You want to fight. You're half angry after you've done it.
But you've got a lot of unspent energy, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So it's all built up, and your adrenaline's going and things like that. And then after the fight, you're raging like that. So you can't win. Yeah, you want to get back in there.
All right, Nick. Well, it's good to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Good to see you doing a bit.
That's it, Rich. You know.
And like I say, I'm sure we'll have news soon.
Yeah.
And I'll do the usual and get you on the phone.
Yeah. Sounds nice one, Rich.
All right, mate. There you go.